Peggy 18.
Built on the Snowdrop engine, Tom Clancy's The Division is an action RPG MMO hybrid that is developed by Ubisoft Massive, which are the guys and gals behind Far Cry 3, if you guys didn't know. And I actually liked Far Cry 3. Far Cry 3 is one of my favorite Far Cry games. I haven't picked up Far Cry 4 yet, but Far Cry 3 I liked a lot. And they're actually also behind Assassin's Creed Revelations, which I thought was an awesome game. I liked it a lot. The Division is only on next gen, and it was not originally supposed to be on PC. Originally, it was supposed to be on just Xbox One and PS4, but they actually had a petition that had the PC included in that. Each of the Division's releases will be made separately, so the PC build will be different from the Xbox One build, and the Xbox One build will be different from the PS4 build. Each one of these are different, and they're all gonna have like their different kind of attractions, I guess you could say. I'm not exactly sure what the word is, but you guys know what I'm saying. And this is set in New York, and the confirmed cities are Brooklyn, Manhattan, and the Queens. I love New York. I've been to New York, actually, and I love it. I think it'd be an awesome place for an open world game, and I've always said they should do an open world game in New York. I would love to see a Fallout 4 in New York, if they're up for that. That would be awesome. But anyway, welcome guys. How's it going? This is my thoughts on The Division. My name is Spiffy, and I will be your host for today. Now, The Division is made by Ubisoft Massive, like I said earlier, and one of the biggest things with Ubisoft is that a lot of their games are the same. So, like, with Watch Dogs last year had the one run button that made you parkour and all this stuff. So, all this stuff was together, and it was just like Assassin's Creed. So, a lot of this stuff is together. One of the biggest things is that all this stuff is together, all this stuff is the same. So, when you're playing a Ubisoft game, it looks like you paid $60 for a new skin, which is one of my biggest things about games, is that I don't want to pay $60 for a quote, new game, that's air quotes around that, and then just have it reskinned of a game that I've played for the past 5 years. So, but The Division is different. The Division is for next gen, and I'm not going to say, I know that sounds weird because the new Assassin's Creed is on next gen, but this is a legitimate next gen game. It's only on next gen, and that term gets thrown around kind of loosely, but it really is. This is a game that could not have been made 5 years ago. It couldn't have been made last year. It has to be made in the 21st century. It has to be made right now. And that's one of the biggest things about The Division. And the fact that Ubisoft got their hands on a game like this is insane because of marketing and all this stuff, all the money they're going to make. So, it's very, very interesting. Now, The Division is not another Ubisoft game that you've bought 3 times already. The Division is a game with guns, and it's not like Watch Dogs style guns. You're a military officer, and you go in to protect and find survivors of this virus that's hit New York City. And when you go through there, you go through the people who survived the virus and are trying to survive and are scared of you. You're finding survivors. You're finding all this cool stuff. And the amount of detail that has gone into this game is absolutely incredible. There's parts of him just closing a door, and granted, it made everyone scream and freak out and stuff. It's not that big of a deal, but when you think about it, games don't have that kind of stuff. It's not the level of depth, so it makes you really immersive, and that's all thanks to the Snowdrop engine. So that is an engine that is dedicated to The Division and is dedicated to Ubisoft, and the Snowdrop engine was built from the ground up to build The Division and to make The Division the game it is. And I think that's really great. I mean, I believe in new engines. I don't have a problem with them. My problem is when you say you have a new engine, but you really don't. Like when you play Call of Duty or something, they say they have a new engine every year, but do you really? No, you really don't. But I think you guys get the point. So having a brand new engine for a brand new game is fine with me. I'm all for it. If there was a engine for every game that was out, we would be living in great games, just like Far Cry 3, you know. And I think that, speaking about Far Cry 3, I think that Ubisoft Massive is a great company. I believe that Far Cry 3 was a really good game. I believe that Assassin's Creed Revelations was a really good game. So I think that this could do it for Ubisoft Massive. Put them over the top, make them a AAA company, just like Treyarch, just like Naughty Dog, just like Riot Games, whatever you want to compare them to. If Ubisoft Massive can pull this off to the hype that surrounded it, I think they can really have a bestseller here. And at this point, this is my second pick of the year right now, since the new Call of Duty hasn't been let out yet. So I have a lot of passion behind this game. I have a lot of hype behind this game because I'm really excited for it. If this thing gets pulled off, I'm gonna be really happy. But a few of my problems is that I don't feel like there's enough guns in it, and I also feel like there's not enough gameplay. They haven't shown off enough gameplay. And at this point, about 2 years into the cycle, it was announced probably like 2 years ago, I think. And at this point, you usually have it. It's usually out by now, to be honest. But at this point, you usually have, at least if it's been this long, you usually have a lot of gameplay, and you just have a whole lot of stuff that people can freaking see. Like, you need to be able to see this game before you buy it. That's the point of demos. That's the point of E3. That's the point of PAX. That's the point of all these conferences, for you to play the game so you can see if you like it, so you can buy it. But the fact that they have almost no gameplay out worries me, because that either means the game's either not finished or they're not proud enough of the game. And I know I'm speaking really loud here, but I'm just like really scared, honestly. I want this game to succeed. I really do. Because it will set a new standard for games like this in the future. And if this game just doesn't work out, it's going to set a very low standard. This game sets the bar for the genre for the next 10 years, to be honest with you. If it just sinks and fails like Titanfall, the genre's not going to go anywhere. But if it rises up to the top, like Far Cry 3 or Far Cry 4 or Wolfenstein, this thing is going to be the game of 2014 and for the next 10 years in this genre, the MMORPG hybrid kind of thing. And there's a lot riding on this game. There really is. And I'm not sure if Ubisoft Massive knows. I'm really not sure. Because if you're Ubisoft Massive and you're making this game and you're proud of the work you've done, you let out gameplay. You invite people to your conference. You put out gameplay at PAX, E3, all the gameplay. I find it hard to believe that they're low on content in a game that's an MMORPG. I've never seen an MMORPG that's good that doesn't have content to play. If you play an MMORPG and you don't have content, you're not going to do good. That goes for all games, so I don't understand why they don't give out gameplay. Honestly. It baffles me why there's no gameplay out. I can't think of another reason than the fact that it's not there. I mean, The Division has already been delayed once, maybe twice even, and they've given out 2 gameplay videos. Now, what they've shown in those videos are really, really good. They're good. They're decent. It makes people excited. But the fact that they haven't shown more really worries me. And I don't understand what their motive is. So it just doesn't make sense. If you guys have any ideas why they're not posting gameplay, post it down in the comments below, because I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. We could share our thoughts in the comments below, because I love doing these videos. These are a lot of fun. Moving on to the companion app. Anybody with a tablet apparently can get on and use this little drone to track people, and so you can see them through walls and all this kind of stuff, which is a cool feature. But most Ubisoft games, most games in general, have that right about now, so it's not too interesting.
Put the first piece back together.
The story, I haven't really heard of one. I mean, I don't think there's a total story. Like, you just kind of like walk around and you complete missions and you do what you need to do to win areas or whatever, and then you kind of unlock this story as you go. It's this kind of story your own pace, which is really cool. And it makes me wonder if the reason Ubisoft Massive hasn't shown anything is because they don't want to ruin the story. Maybe the story's just that in depth that you're always going through it, you're always doing something to figure something else out. Which I will get, but I still think they need to have more than 2 gameplay videos in 2 years, which I don't understand. But anyway, those were my thoughts. What are yours? Post them in the comments below. I love doing these videos. They're a lot of fun to do. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.